See what we come up with. Yeah. Oh man, the sun feel good though. The life source. And they even got a video now where it says, well, of course you know how they do in the media. Scientists prove that the sun is God. But what they're saying is everything's dependent on it as we're concerned. We ain't talking about the extremophiles. You know, something that could be on a comet somewhere. We're talking about us. But anyway, this is good. Now we're talking about energy. Breatharian path and energy. Energy, frequency, and vibration. And the reason why people eat food is for energy. That's the number one idea. However, when people get on this path and start fasting, they'll find out, I wasn't eating out of hunger, I'm eating out of emotions, I'm eating out of boredom. All this other stuff come into play. And now we got a thing where people are, one of the number one diseases too is, or it's in the top three, is obesity. Sedentary lifestyle. Too much food everywhere. So one thing about the human being, whether they believe in eating or not eating, or even we in this revolution where fasting is out on the scene now, the human being could go a very long time without food. Because when our ancestors was migrating, it wasn't like you was going to a store, you understand? It wasn't like you had a refrigerator with you. But we was migrating, traveling all over the planet. We're the longest walking animal. So therefore, it wasn't no rush to say, we got to eat 3 meals a day. That wasn't even on nobody's mind. You ate, you traveled, you walked, you found something else, take what you could take with you. That's how we was doing. So coming back into that is just making sense because it's already in your nature. So now when we're dealing with these energy centers, this is what getting people. Now, a lot of people in the day of age we heard about the 7 chakras. Everybody kind of got that. It's like a household name. And chakra just means swirling energy. Swirling pools of energy or whatever. An energy center.
Wheel of energy.
Wheel of energy. Right. And we got that. And they're showing these 7 chakras. We look at these pictures, and I looked at them for years, and I'm like, well, where are they located? Now, of course, if a doctor puts somebody down on the table and cut them open, they cannot point chakras to you. So if they're mythical or people just making them up, what is this? It don't even make sense, do it? Or could do it. Now, some people, since we got more smarter and got more information, we say that they're the endocrine system. But the endocrine system is a system within itself. It works on a chemical or a hormonal level. Now, we could say it's it. You know, the heart, it gives off its hormones, it has its energy. The solar plexus, it does say that that's a radiating ganglia of energy. Now, we could say those are chakras. We could, but we don't need to either. Because what's getting everybody to, we're talking about this energy flow. Energy flow. How is energy flowing? And now let's make this make sense now. Let's take a race car, for instance. Got 4 wheels just like any car on the street, but it's considered a race car. We're not even going to go to the engine or the wheels. We're going to go into the aerodynamics of the frame. That means a lot. It ain't a Jeep where it got the window coming straight up. Because that will slow down the vehicle. Trying to go through what? Space-time. And it's hitting the wind, and that's going to slow it down. So you always get a race car where the window will be slanted. Don't that make sense? Just to qualify as a race car, so you can go faster. It's the aerodynamics. So in one way, how the energy flow is going, the engineer who's making him a race car, he's looking at the energy flow. It's going to make that vehicle go faster to qualify as a race car. Is this making sense? So it ain't like in his mind, it ain't about him pointing out chakras. He's pointing out on how that car is going, and even dealing with the tires. There was somebody who was in the engineering, and you notice how your tire, they'll say, just by the size of the tire, how much it's inflated. They can tell you how far of a distance it'll go, you know, just by calculations. what type of gas it has. Just do a calculation and the car don't even need to run. And tell you how much miles per gallon it should go off of that gas. Because everything is dealing with energy flow. How much energy is taken, how fast it goes, how it cuts through the space. So basically they're explaining to you how energy centers work on everything. Here we go now. It don't need to be an organ that you point out. It's how it's cutting through the fabric. And now let's take it to the animal kingdom. A cheetah. A cheetah is the world's fastest animal. Why? His body's made for it. So they had this thing I saw on TV one day where they're showing the computer-generated cheetah. See, we got the computers and the machines now. How his body is designed to run. First of all, his bone structure is light. Right? His lungs was a certain way. They was way up and they was pumped real fast. His heart, everything was made for aerodynamics to cut through space, to work with the energy. How energy was going through his body. And then he could cut against the grain due to how thin his bones was. All of this stuff to catch his prey. His body was designed, how it was working with the energy to be that fast. There's many animals that got, walk on all fours, all this other stuff, but they can't outrun a cheetah. Now, if you get a cheetah and a greyhound together, and the greyhound beat a cheetah in running, we could basically say that cheetah's sick. You should have won. Am I saying that right? You should have beat him. That's in his nature. That's in his makeup. So that's why when we boldly say, why is religion saying that man has a fall of consciousness? Uh-oh. Is that just a story somebody made up? It is all over the world. There was this fall of consciousness. Because when we go back and look at the energy centers of the human being, even in biology, I met this, I think I told you earlier, the boy that was going to school that was 19. And he said, well, right in class we're learning that there's no reason why the human body should die. When you look at it on paper, it shouldn't die. Everything's regenerating, all this other stuff. If it was up in its health running, it should not die. But we're living in a realm where everybody's dying. Uh-oh. And all religions are saying, they're giving the same story. Man went through a fall of consciousness, and then it brought forth death, basically, sickness, pain, suffering. So that means when we look at the energy flow of the human being, he must be like that cheetah. He's not living up to how he was born. That makes sense. Something's taking place. Or we're designed to be a race car on a racetrack, but we're coming out looking like a Jeep. You ain't up to your performance. The performance level is down. So it ain't that saying that you're stupid, fall of consciousness. What did that mean? There's that understanding of how we're supposed to be functioning. You ever see that movie, The Greatest American Hero? Oh man, there was a TV show. And it came out back in the day. It only had like 10 series. But it was about some guy who found some superhero costume. And he put it on. Oh, this looked good. But every time he put on the costume, he found out he had superpowers. He was strong. Then he found out he could fly. But every episode when he found out he could do something, when he found out he could fly, he'll run into a tree, he'll run into a wall because he don't know how to use it yet. He had to learn how to use it. So that's where we're at now as humanity, is everybody is basically saying something's wrong. We need to develop ourselves in a way, how does this supposed to run? And even though we got science and technology out there, there's nobody coming in agreement saying this is the best diet to live a very long time guaranteed. Nobody's saying that. That's why it's called practicing medicine. Uh-oh. Practicing. Half of the people get sick and die quicker just by seeing a doctor.
So you practicing on me.
Right, practicing.
Okay.
Practicing on you, yeah.
Right. Oh, man. So a fall of consciousness. So we got to take it to the energy now. We want to see what this fall is. Now, I wrote in that one book saying that the human body is good for energy conservation. Now, why would I say that? Just by us walking on two legs, we got gravity kind of helping us. It's automatically pushing things downward. Say the food you just ate is helping you. So the lungs is getting it off the heart. Yeah, it's helping you. It's bringing it down for you. But when you eat too much, you start compromising the heart and stuff like this. So what people are suffering with? Acid reflux. You ate too much. Food coming back up. Watch your food come back up and you just ate just enough. That's a problem right there. All this other stuff. So our aerodynamics of the body, this is why the ancients was coming out with these chakras, these energy centers. If the flow is going smoothly, the organism should be healthy. But if they get compromised, it ain't going to live up to its potential. Man, here we go now. And every person that says they get healthier, you know, it was, what did you do to get healthier? It was either dealing with some type of movement that we call exercise, or they start controlling what was going into their body. Those are the first two initiations of spirituality. Diet and exercise. Why accumulate all that information through studying and that organism going to die from not taking care of it and you lost with all that information? That's a waste of time. But if you take care of the house or take care of the organism, it could get a lot more information. That just makes sense, don't it? Mm-hmm. So it's the aerodynamics of our makeup. That's what they're talking about, the chakras. Now I came back and said, okay, you got your 7 main chakras, but then you got anywhere there's a bend in the body is considered a chakra. This is a chakra. That's where something is meeting. And if you know, when you pop your knuckles or whatever, or your pops, that's kinetic energy letting loose. This is mechanical. We hate to look at our bodies like that, but this is real. This is also dealing with an electrical signal taking place. So we can legally say that this is a biomachine. Humans don't like it, like, oh, we're special. All right, then squirrel's a biomachine. He could do the same thing.
They're special too.
Huh?
They're special too.
Special too. Right.
God's creation.
God's creation. Using the same life force. Just like we enjoying the sun, I bet there's a squirrel out there laying in the sun right now. Mm-hmm. Fueling him just like it's fueling us. And the sun don't care. It's giving it to everybody. Uh-oh. That's us who's making these. I'm better than the squirrel. Not in the squirrel's mind, I don't think so. Right. He ain't knocking on the door, come feed me. He out there just as happy with his house, everything. He got a house and there's people that don't got a house. That shows you who's smart. You ever see a homeless squirrel? That don't even make sense. A homeless squirrel or a squirrel out of work and he's depressed. That don't even make sense, do it? They got us beat. We outsmarted ourselves on how to put ourselves into suffering. That shouldn't even be a problem. If the animal could pull it off, or we animals, if that life form could pull it off, that we call ourselves superior to, that don't even make sense, does it? Oh, man. Wah, wah. Man. Gotta think about that one. That's heavy-handed. So the fall of consciousness must be what? Dealing with energy flow. Appreciating and understanding it. And now this is why they got a term called spiritual blindness. That means a person don't know energy flow. That's all it's saying. And they saying, I don't know who God is. Or I didn't make a membership to this religion. I ain't got nothing to do with spiritual blindness. Spiritual blindness is you don't know energy flow. Because it's invisible to the physical eye. So it's understandable. You got to get educated on energy flow. Work with it. Learn that you have access to it. Now the sun hitting us right now. And don't they say when the sun hit us, we start producing vitamin, what, D? So we're synthesizing. We're doing human photosynthesis right now. Am I right? There's some people, we don't do synthesis like plants. We ain't say like plants. We're doing our synthesis, working with the sun. That's what we're doing right now. We ain't even asked the body permission. It's doing it on its own. Don't even need your help. All it needs you to do is just enjoy it. This is one of the highest energies that's external from the body is the sun. What we say, this is what they say in the scientific field. Within an hour, just 1 hour, the sun puts so much energy to the earth that all the industries in the earth couldn't keep up with it over a whole year.
Yeah.
That's powerful, ain't it? 1 hour. So just think if you got out 2 hours a day with a clean vessel, you'd have picked up all that energy. Because this is the right device to work with it. Life. That's what it's doing. Even this cell phone can't hang. You put that cell phone in the sun and it get too hot, it's going to cut off. Too hot. And you sitting up there saying, what's wrong with the cell phone? That ain't no high technology. You are. You still sucking it up. All through the walls, through the roof is looking for you. And I like how you said the sun feeds everybody. and they don't even know you exist.
Yeah, sun loves you. Mm-hmm.
Sun loves you.
But it doesn't know you exist.
Don't even know you exist. But it loves you.
That's from this Inidia book.
That's powerful. Yeah. So therefore, when we're dealing with the Breatharian journey, all right, now that's very powerful. What is we saying now? That comes from the ancient word Inidia that means to eat very little or none at all. So what we're saying is the human being has the capabilities to live a life not going to lower, don't use that word, let me use the right words, to energies that's more dense, that we call food right now. Bread, what else we call food? Potatoes, chickens, poor chickens. Who said I'm food? He ain't looking at himself as no food. You want to run around, got friends, want to laugh? Nah. Somebody put them on the hit list. The pig. Pigs are smart too. My buddy had one. We played all the time. Somebody got him on the hit list, said he's bacon. He ain't looking at himself as no bacon. That's crazy, ain't it? The human being just lost his mind. That's why I can see why they say we got to fall of consciousness. If you got the capabilities, once you learn energy work, to be food free, you're making it bad for all other life forms. The fox, he can't even hold his fur. He got that to be warm. Now it's somebody's coat. That's crazy, ain't it? Cows, fattening them up, can't even move all day, taking his babies from them. That's the fall of consciousness. You don't need to be doing that. If you worked at your potential, you wouldn't even think about that. Everything else could be free. Whole world got locked up by man's mind. Mm-hmm. That's why they say it's the fall of consciousness. The world got everything for you. And the main thing, the sun hitting us right now, feeding us. Don't even need nothing else. And we knew how to tap into it and use it. That's the fall of consciousness. It's already here. That's why they say cosmic energy is doing this part, but the self-knowledge got lost. Now, when you look at the religions and when they was created, now this is something very important. The message of Breatharianism is still in religion. But it's hard for people to see through the text. Now, on one level, all religions are connected. People say, I'm a Christian, I'm not a Buddhist. Well, I believe in Buddhism and Hinduism, they're the ones talking about 7 chakras also, ain't it? 7 energy centers. But the Bible's starting out with what? 7 days of creation? Dang, where would they get that from? The 7 churches in Revelation? Dang, why would they use 7? But they're talking Buddhism. They all talking the same thing. And all it's talking about is the development of a human being. Oh man, we got to do it. Ain't no literal story. It's a coded message. to survive through time, and now we can interpret it and pick it up and learn how to use the energy again. Whoa, so everybody else could be free. Not just yourself. I saved a whole lot of animals just by me not eating them no more. I know the cows is all happy because I used to like Salisbury steak and gravy. At least Elitom stopped eating us. I ain't taking part in it no more. Woke up. Right. Now I'm trying to wake everybody up. You don't need to do that. Let him live. And see, that's how karma's working. See, they got a thing called preventable diseases. High blood pressure, liver ailment, stroke, cancer, diabetes. That's the payback for messing with other life forms. Nobody gets away. The other animals are saying, if I ain't going to live, you ain't either. If I'm not going to live, you ain't either. Oh, I'm living good, eating you. All right, we're going to see at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, a bug is eating a human being. You know, after you die and, right, but I thought you was a god or whatever. The bug didn't think so.
You taste the same to bug.
Right, the bug, the worms, everything else. You wasn't nothing but another animal that lost his mind. Oh, man. So that's why they say this is the waking back up of consciousness. This is the path to it. Because the more you straighten out and clean up your body, you get more energy. It's an energy game. That's what consciousness is. I know we're playing with the word. But if you want to expand consciousness, we start putting the body back in alignment. So that's why even on the scriptures, okay, they got the 7 days of creation in Genesis. Talking the same thing. But people misinterpret it. Oh, that's when the planet was made. 6,000 years ago. Now we know that don't even make sense. A rock is older than 6,000 years old. Different places on the planet. So we know that can't be it. We found bones where humans are way older than that. So the ignorance, we're getting out of it. But then it's showing you on the 7th day was the day of what? Rest, the day of peace. But that's a symbology again. Yeah, when all 7 chakras open up, you can rest. You have peace. The war is over with. Whoa, it's telling you a story. You ain't not rest in peace when you stressed out. How could you be? You sick? You lost your energy? Abusing creation? You ain't even born. They ain't even alive. But when you make it to the 7th day when all 7 of them is open and the energy is flowing and you're working at your potential, you're at rest. That's the everyday Sabbath. Oh, man. Did I say that? That slipped, too. That must have came from the sun. Oh, man. That's what we're dealing with. But see, that was when the fall took place in Genesis, and Revelation just means a revealing. See that word? Reveal. And then they're talking about what I believe in Revelations chapter 3 or chapter 4. This ain't getting religious, but they're using the 7 churches, talking Buddhism, 7 chakras, and all of a sudden, this is what the 7 churches say. Somebody died, and they came back to life. This makes sense. Somebody went to sleep, and they came back to life. So in the eyes of creation, we're already dead. You ain't living at your high potential. But once somebody figured it out and the 7 churches started talking, that means somebody opened up their 7 chakras and they back in life again. You rose from the dead. Already got a death sentence. So when you look at people, everybody you see is already going to die. They're a transient being due to lack of consciousness. They don't know nothing about energy flow. They're telling you to eat lamb and cows and chickens. Right. That's how they talking. Go to McDonald's to get the Happy Meal.
The meal.
Right. A happy. They call it happy too. It should be a sad meal.
Pieces of dead chicken.
Yeah.
Put in a breadcrumbs and deep fried.
Right. Deep fried chicken.
Like,
I mean, man.
Standard American diet said abbreviation, right?
So when the 7 chakras or the 7 churches open back up, of course somebody said, I once was dead and now I'm alive forevermore. Ding! But we think again how we was taught, oh, that's Jesus Christ returned. It ain't got nothing to do with Jesus Christ. You don't know if he lived or not. Talk about you. That's why they ain't even put no name on it. It just said, somebody said, right, I once was dead and now I'm alive forevermore. Somebody woke up. You living off everything. You are the creator.
And there's the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, the
7
vials,
seals, 7 trumpets, and what else?
the vials.
The vials. It's not about the chakras. Ain't no religion. You ain't got to be a Christian like that to know that. It's in there. Everybody else is talking about that. Number 7. What is it? Everybody getting all mythical, saying stories. It's just talking about your aerodynamics of the body. This center must be open with energy flow. And that's why when we talk the Breatharian message, that's what we're talking. That's the teaching of it. It ain't about you starving yourself and you ain't got no mind still. All you're going to do is die because the body, you ain't got the awareness yet. Your chakras are still blocked. See, it's blocked more than with just food. It's blocked with traumas, family situations, your job, life. All of those are energies that got you blocked up. That's why you got to go through and purge out everything. Other than that, the sun is feeding you. It loves you, but they don't even know you exist.
I think what you're saying about, Christ or Jesus, I think a lot of times, we get, really hung up on, the story, which has its significance, but, the Christ is in everyone.
Right.
The Logos, the Krishna consciousness. And so instead of seeing it as this individualized person, the significance is it applies to you directly because it is in you.
That's what it was saying. See, we done woke up now where we could talk like this. See, now we could talk like this. There was a time you couldn't talk like this because somebody had killed you. See how humanity lost its mind? You weren't even allowed to put that together. It would have been off with his head just because he was just saying, well, Christ is us. Catholic Church would have hunted you down. Blaspheming. Not picking on, nobody or the Catholic Church, but we went through that. Islam is going through that. You better not talk against it. I put a post on social media saying, Islam, A-S-L-A-M. I self-law am master. And all I'm just saying, when you keep the law, you're the master of your life. You are the Islam. It ain't got nothing to do with the religion. That's a similitude again, talking about the human being.
Yes.
They saying the same thing. And then when they go to Mecca, what do they do when they go to Mecca? They go around a black stone 7 times. Is they Buddhist or Hindu? Why is they doing 7 times? Here we go again. It's in every world religion, a coded message talking about human potential on how he's supposed to be working with energy. And we just made it into religions like everybody's separate. They ain't talking about that. Man. I was even traveling this one country, some girl asked me what God am I or believe in, and I said, well, I ain't got one. I guess I'm godless, But anyway, she said, you have to. I said, well, no, I don't. I'm sitting here standing before you. And then she had to look at that. Well, I guess I met somebody who don't have to. But in her mind, where she grew up at, she had to pick a side. And you ain't got to pick a side. The energy is available for everybody. That's the only side you need to pick on. See, that's why they call money that we created, which is man-made, currency. But listen at that word currency, like a current that's in the ocean, a flow of energy. But nature don't care about the man-made money. That's why you can't buy your way out of it. A millionaire, billionaire, they still dying. They don't care. Trying to pay them off. Nature don't care nothing about that. That's why, again, in the scriptures it's saying what? I know your pain and affliction, but you are rich. Everybody here is rich once you get the knowledge. But your pain and affliction is just becoming from lack of knowledge. You don't know how the invisible forces that you have access to supposed to work. That's all it is. That's what's bringing on the affliction. And we can say, well, they've been holding information back for us. Well, not now. We got it now. And that's why nobody think they're doing nothing wrong. How can somebody hold something back for you if it's already in you? We were just scared, fear. We had to go through that. Now we got enough information we can put it together. And we're working with it. We're doing it. and I like that conversation we had today. If you look at how long a person can live without food or water, if you look that up on Google, they're going to give you an answer. But in the Guinness Book of World Records, what was the guy's record? 18 days. They got him on the Guinness Book because they found him what?
In prison in Australia.
In a prison in Australia. And he just got, they forgot he was in there to feed him.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? Well, he did the 18 days, so I guess he's in the Guinness Book of World Records by mistake. And, what a joke. Oh, man. This is something, man. But that's the information that's out there. Fall of consciousness. Fall of consciousness. That's what we're dealing with. But now we're in a good age because people learn a lot more about fasting. People putting their testimonies on there. Intermittent fasting, fasting 7 days, 21 days. People doing 30 days like it ain't nothing. I even met a guy in Israel every year. He do a 33-day fast. Now, why did he do that? Well, he was caught with cancer one time. So he said the first year, he did a 33-day fast to put it in remission. So every year he made a vow to do that same fast every year. Now he said the first year he did it, 33 days was tough. But every year when he goes into it, it's easy. So that's why when you heard my message with the Breatharian message, that makes sense to him. It wasn't no fight at all. Whoa. And he said when you do that 33-day fast every year, coming up to it, he don't do no preparation. He just said, well, it's time for me to do this fast again. He did it so much throughout the years, it's just, let me go into it. So he'll eat a meal the day before, and then 33 days later, he going through it like it ain't nothing. Carrying out with his regular life. He don't need to go nowhere and get a cabin and lay in the bed. This is what we're talking about. We're creatures of habit. But notice that he probably would have never did the 33 days to start out with if an emergency didn't come up to keep his life. That's what suffering does. Suffering is a tool to make you realize you need to make some changes. That's what it's doing. The rules ain't broken. So that's why you don't see nobody just breaking the rules and they living forever. Of course, you haven't earned the right. Some don't even know you exist. That's why they say you ain't got no soul. A soul have to be developed. Uh-oh, did I say that? Now this makes more sense. Now the average person will say that the human being's supposed to die. But they say, but the average person, even if they're intellectual, will say, but our souls, I believe that live forever. Well, what is your soul? See how these definitions get in our way again? What is it? Well, it's just something, a part of us. You know, they get to blabbing. All right, here we go. We're going to make it make sense. What we do know is, if you've been to a funeral before, the body's laying there. But the energy is gone. That's what's gone out the vessel. And I said a friend just now, their mother died. They said they stayed in the room until the last breath was gone. Once that breath was gone, that's what that meter said. Dee! The life was gone. So life must be connected with breath. Breath is connected with energy. You're living in something. That's what we must keep in the body, not kick it out. So that's why we got to open up energy channels so it can keep flowing, and that must be consciousness. See, when a body starts getting aches and pains and stiffening, that means that your consciousness is getting compromised. We got to put it together like that. So our job now is just to keep the energy in the body. That shouldn't be hard, should it? Now, when we say that, well, I guess I got to eat more food. We ain't talking about that energy. That's the problem. We're just going too much to the subtle energy. And even when a person get older, you ain't even got to teach them about diet or nothing. There was foods they could eat a lot more of or better when they were younger compared to when they got older. Well, I can't handle that now, or not this time of hour. Why is that? That was just your nature telling them that. You got to back up. So that's why this message is different to two different parties. Young people, as long as you stay healthy, tell them the ins and outs, but they experiment. When you get older and have some of those experiments already that went down, Right, you can start lightening up now. And the skin is an organ. It don't need to become wrinkled. It's getting wrinkled because it's toxified. It's an organ. Oh, man, just like everything else, it's the most important organ. Well, I shouldn't say the most important, but it's a major one. Because it's connected with everything externally and connected with every organ. It's the best computer on the planet. And when we deal with psychic abilities, everybody in here has it. Because you're connected with everything. You know everything. That's why we're geniuses. I'm not the only genius. I wish I was, but I got to give everybody else credit too. Right. Genius. Connected with everything. Nobody can hide nothing from you if you don't want to. That's it. So therefore, once you start coming up to your genius potential, we can figure this out. We can pick back up the consciousness instead of keeping it in a fallen state. Oh, man. Don't have to stay in that state no more. And therefore, when that happens and the next people catch on to raise their consciousness, it then got the power to what? We do create the governments. Well, major player. Hospital exists because everybody's going there. As people start doing, what's the use of keeping it open for? That's it. And if people still want to go there, more power to them. You don't need to be there. They don't even be in your existence no more. Not even in your reality. They tried to scare me one time, talk about, oh, you shouldn't quit your job. We got good medical insurance. I can care less about the medical insurance. That's why I'm getting out of here. Paying somebody to, right, and I can take care of that stuff myself. That's what it boiled down to. I'm sitting there looking at the doctor saying, he up there saying to me, man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I need to lose this, and I feel kind of, I should be riding my bike to work. Right, I'm counseling him. What should I keep paying him for medical insurance? The medical insurance is us. See, you are your best business. That's what it boils down to. So dealing with the breatharian journey, we're just clearing the air to make it practical that we can make this happen. And it's dealing with those 7 chakras again. Now, of course, your body got energy centers all over them, but the main center must be open first. So even when I talk about that meditation of microcosmic orbit, that's dealing with the main center. Once that opened, then you can care about the rest of them. What we want to care about the hand for if the center's clogged up? That's why the hand has all got carpal tunnel in it. Right, that's where it's coming from. Too much toxicity in the body. Whoa. Then a person to say, I can tell when it's about to rain, when my body start hurting. Well, that shows, number one, that the body's already connected with the matrix. And of course it's hurting. The energy wants to flow and you feel it. There's changes being made. But you could do that if you didn't, put yourself through that pain. Don't the animals, when an earthquake or a tornado about to come, they already know it's about to come. They're all out of there. Humans are still sticking around because everybody got numb, fall of consciousness. Well, they didn't show me that on the news. A radar. You are the radar. We do it all the time. Man, this is good. And it gets better and better. So when we're dealing with the 7 chakras, to open them up, that's why they keep saying so above, so below, and all of this other stuff. They was giving them the words. But energy moves upwards. So therefore, it's the bottom chakra that energizes or feeds the rest of them. It comes upwards. That's why they keep showing us the symbology again about the serpent starting from below, but he's coming up the staff, which is the spinal cord. So that means it just makes sense now. Let's don't even act stupid with it. We got to take care of the first 3 chakras. And the best way to take care of those is dealing with what you put in your body. Bang. Get rid of that gut, that guru belly. Right, because that's stagnating energy. We might as well hit it on the head. Well, I know so-and-so, he had a big belly, but he was doing a lot of energy work. Well, for that time, for what was needed, all of y'all was still in the fall of consciousness. We somewhere else now. We ain't talking about that time period. We're in another time period now. It blocks the energy. We might as well go ahead and say it. We're looking at the sports car now. So somebody came to the racetrack, the Indy 500, and they driving a Cadillac. I mean, that's a nice car, but that ain't for the Indy 500. You got to call it. That's for something else. So there is a breatharian body. Does that make sense? So we won't be spooky no more. There's a breatharian body.
So when we're taught, you are not the body, how does that relate to taking possession of the body and elevating the body and becoming one with the body?
Oh, I like that. He said, basically, you are not the body. But how is that going to help us to become one with the body? Now, when that was given to let people know that your body is the vehicle that you're driving, just like you got your car. It's your vehicle you're driving to be in this realm. Now, does that make sense so far? Mm-hmm. But to take possession of it, just like your physical car. You want to put the best fuel in it. It got updates on when to do the oil, when to change the spark plugs. All of this goes with that vehicle. Take care of it now so you can get more use out of it. Now, there was a man in the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's longest running car with the most miles. And he basically said that it's because he did what the instruction manual said to do. That's what he said. Now, there was thousands of cars that same year that came out what his car did. They didn't make it that long. I think he had over 2 million miles on there. And it looked brand new. He took care of the car. So it's the same with the physical body. It's a vehicle that you're driving, because the reason why we know it's a vehicle on one level, at that funeral again, that body's leaving, but what happened to that person that was making it talk? They're gone. But that person didn't have to leave if they didn't get evicted. They didn't lose the vehicle. That's what we're talking about. So breatharian, this is what got me when I was on the journey. See, in religion, it was teaching us that the body wasn't nothing. Everybody was just saying, this don't mean nothing. Just wait till you die and you're going to get a better place to go. But as I started coming on this journey, I said something's wrong. And a voice said to me, wait a minute now, get back into your body. Don't get out of it. And I was getting evicted, getting kicked out. How do I know it? I woke up the steps, I was breathing hard, my health was getting bad, aches and pains. That's how I know I was getting kicked out. Nature wasn't honoring me. I could say I love God all that went out my mouth. Nature was not backing me up. And I ain't had no money to get nature, so I really was out. Even though I know it don't take money now, it was another currency I had to learn. So once I learned the currency, everything started nature started honoring it. There was a flow, a relationship with you and nature. And every time you breathe, you're related to this consciousness. That's how you know you're never alone. Always breathing in, breathing out, relationship with nature. And then, this is the keys too. When the 7 churches open up, or the 7 chakras open up, that's why they say, seek ye first the kingdom of God. This should be your number one seeking right here. It ain't about the money or a job or a house. This is it. So you can become wealthy. Because this is what creates your external. Whoa, did I say that? You be magnetized stuff to you. I do it all the time. This is it. That's where the power is at. It's telling us right in the scriptures. From Genesis, the 7 days of creation, where he can rest on the 7th day, all the way to Revelation, where he once was dead and now he's alive, and the 7 churches start declaring him. But in the middle, death, war, pain, suffering, all this stuff going on. And all religions connected. I don't care who it is. But that's man splitting it up. I'm this, I'm that, due to where you was born, and all of them talking the same thing. Shiva, Shakti, Adam and Eve, all talking the same thing. Og and Og, no matter what place you go to. Now we got these keys to put it together. And as we was doing that Qigong this morning, working with that energy, always there, all in the atmosphere. Look, I'm making a ball of energy now. Feel it. It's always with you. All we got to do is harmonize it, and everything else comes simple. Everything else comes simple. And even and I had to figure this out even on the level of just the worldly level. Your health is connected to your wealth. You miss a day of work, you miss money. And people call off from work, why? I don't feel good today. So that's just on a practical level. I used to see people doing all this overtime to catch up on bills, and they work themselves so deeply, then they have to take off from work because they got themselves sick, and all that money they work for overtime, it ain't mean a hill of beans. So you ain't get ahead. All you're doing is in a gerbil running a rat wheel. On a rat wheel or whatever. A gerbil on a wheel. Oh man, this is terrible, ain't it? That's slavery. Man. And then I was at this one place where the man, okay, he was successful on the materialistic things, but this just shows you the power again. But as it boiled down to, he had to go check on all his businesses and fly all over the place. That was stressful. He was like, you got it made all the time. Right? And he took off. And me, I just had to figure out what to do with my day. Oh, I know what I'll do. Keep my 7 chakras open. That was my job. That's why I had to go run all over the place. To go make sure all the businesses is doing good. I mean, it sounds nice. Right. I can do that if I want to. But I prefer just to keep the chakras open for a while, you know. That's what nature's honoring. That's where the payment is at. That's wild, ain't it? Right here in our face. So that's why the ancients were saying it's a fall of consciousness. They don't understand energy flow of the aerodynamics of how the energy's supposed to flow in them. And just because of that, you're going to die prematurely. See, we think 100 years old is a long life. That's how we're thinking right now. Oh, they lived to 90. That was good. That's child's play. Oh man, for an energy that a body that automatically regenerates itself, that's child's play. And then, the longer, when we had that conversation about the longer you be here in this realm, the more radiation you get. That's how they find out how old bones is. So you got bones up under here. You're the artifact. So that means every year we are getting radiated with more and more energy. So a younger person don't have more energy, an older person does. So that's child's play to say you 70, 80, 90 and you old. That's a fall of consciousness. We honoring that. That's a slap in the face right now in the knowledge we got now. I see many gurus talk about this the divine diet of God. And they ain't with us now. They died sticking with that diet. And there's people who smoking cigarettes and everything else still running around. That's what confuses us. We don't understand. And they had nothing to do with that food. Diet changes or foods of windows of consumption isn't for the body, it's for the mind. To discipline you is a step to get you back into your fullness, which is one with creation. Why would you want to stop somewhere else? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, what you're telling me is I don't even want to go to my full potential. This is my life, but I don't want to. All right, so be it. You should want to go to the full potential.
So when in your journey did you really come to a certainty of your immortality? Was there an event? Was it just the general state of how you're sustained, which has made it self-evident? Or
good question he asked. He said, what state in your journey did you start seeing immortality? Actually, see, you get revelations all the time. It just don't happen once and I got it now. It'll keep happening, reminding you, because that's who you are. See, that's why they say a young person, they ain't really thinking about death. It's not really in them. We're teaching them that, but yet still a lot of young people, I hate to say it, was dying doing stupid things. You know what I mean? Speeding in the car, drinking and driving, you know, on that level. Young and dumb, they used to say. But they're not thinking, they're thinking more on a level, their body hasn't been compromised yet, so they don't feel that way. So it's already in you to be immortal. But they just born into a society where we was teaching them that. You understand? But other than that, if you know how to caretake this vehicle with this knowledge now, you could go a very long time, even indefinitely. This is what we're talking about. Now, of course, there's many people that came before us who taught physical immortality, and one thing they all got in common, they all died. But just like any experiment, because that's what this is, we pick up where they left off. But you get the parts that worked and the parts that didn't work, we could do away with that. But we carry on the experiment because we're all one entity. They like they had all bad information. That's where we're at. We're one big entity growing. So even the information, people feed me all the time. Information. Here, Elitom, take this weapon. Take this. Oh, thank you. It ain't like I'm getting it all. Everybody's helping me. I got help all over the place. I am me. That's what's happening. Oh, man. But it's already written for us to see. And like we were saying when I went to the Egyptian tombs and seen the Jade pillar there, which is basically talking about the spinal cord, and that's where they get the word Jedi from in Star Wars. All of this stuff. See, people got the memo. We just have to do it now, from myth to reality. And we already, I think, humanity has gotten a lot tired. We see what materialism can do, being too dug into it. We're seeing that now. And everybody is seeing the effects of food. It ain't even an argument. Everybody has to deal with health and energy flow. You don't need to argue with nobody with this message. Not at all. Ain't nobody feeling good coming up out of this. Or what you could be feeling. So that's why it's a feeling state. You just keep that consciousness right there. And if you, and the best teacher is a person who, what? Doing it through example. Living it. That's it. You ain't got to say nothing. People just be teasing you. See, look at us, we eating. You're dancing. You just be sitting there, all right. Next day is your turn. You're up there dancing around. Hey! They up there, wait a minute, I got to wait till this digests. Wait. 5 years later, 10 years later, I think I need to start losing some of this weight. That's all you got to say. You ain't got to say nothing. Just look at them. Before they was calling you skinny and now they wish they could lose some weight. Right. Asking you questions. You ain't got to say nothing. Just live your life. And there's energy again, like I'll be saying, the power of the sun and all of this. And people don't want to admit that that's keeping us alive. You might as well say it's a deity. You might as well call it God. Might as well. I know we like to make ourselves special, but that's the connection again. Don't this feel good? It's on us too, ain't it? Man, keeping us all warm. Oh, man. It's smiling on us. Look. Nah, for real, I do see it. Like we used to make the smiley face. Right. Some people can communicate with it. That's what we're talking about. You can see it smiling. You smiling back. That's what's giving you your power. That's why we say Superman, where do he get his power from? The sun?
Some have taste, some have vibration. In the morning he's like sweet taste. In the evening he's like more salted, bitter taste.
Now look what he said. The sun got a taste. Oh my gosh. In the morning it tastes one way. In the evening it tastes... And I'm glad he brought that up. When I was in the Canary Islands, there was some people picking these fruits. And they was trying to determine should they pick them in the morning compared to the afternoon because the fruit, the taste of it is going to change. That's not far-fetched what he said. So therefore, that means it's affecting us. We change. Now, we're not going to eat each other, hopefully. Everybody already practicing cannibalism. But anyway, right. That's how it's affecting us. It got a taste, it got a sound, vibration, and that's what we're coming in tune with. Letting it nourish us. Come in more and more to bring light into the body. And it just ain't the visible light. That's where everybody gets stuck at. It's the invisible light that's even more powerful. That's why we will watch that film about the meditation, about your etheric body that everybody has, that energy body. And just through meditation, as soon as you relax, all of that cosmic energy will automatically start funneling into the body. In all meditations, what do they usually say? Relax, get comfortable. As soon as you relax and get comfortable, that's when it starts funneling into the body. You're already doing a qigong. So we just call it qigong as an energy exercise. Everybody dealing with energy. It's just an average person who's unaware with it, they're just getting like 10% into the body. But we open it up through meditation so it can get stronger and bring more light into the body. And when that happens, that's where the ball game gets good. You went from a what? Jeep to that race car. You could do a race around the track now. That's where it gets good. You can do more. You got another fuel source.
You know, I like what you talked about earlier, how, you know, when we eat, you know, how, you know, it causes us to die some because, you know, a part of us goes into that digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just digesting the food, we're digesting our body away also.
This is what he said. As soon as you eat, it takes a part of you away. Not only you just digesting the food, you digesting what? A part of you. Bringing it away. That's why a biologist or a scientist can come in here and get some feces and see who it belongs to. Because your DNA will be in that. That's part of you that just ripped out with the food. Oh, man. We don't even know how our organs are hurting. We think it feels good. Till you get a certain age and start dealing with certain foods. Right. It feels better being lighter. I don't care what you say. I was heavy before. You can't tell me nothing. I'm serious. I mean, my belt was getting bigger. I had to, one day I couldn't even put it together, so I had to put another hole in it with a knife. Yeah, I did. That was terrible. Oh, man. I was like, when is this going to stop? So I started praying again. Act like I'm supposed to do something. See how I was caught with the religious mind? And ain't nothing happened. I was like, well, maybe the Lord ain't listening to me. Hello? I need help down here. My heart is hurting. And nature just probably laughing at me. See, the son, he got conscience. He probably laughing. Why don't he just stop, put down that chicken and Salisbury steak?
Well, he got you on this path.
Yeah, he got me on this path. That's what happened. So it did look out for me. I went from here to here to here. Now I'm saying, thank you. Now it can feed me. We got a relationship. So it drugged me in. Now I'm glad you brought that up. The light is bringing everybody in. It's doing the work. Everybody trying to force their way to the light. And the light saying, let me clean you up first. Before you could come into the house, let me clean you up. Mm-hmm. That's what it's saying. You're dirty right now. No, I'm not. My friends don't think I'm dirty. I know you're dirty. I've been watching you.
You need a rebirthing.
You need a rebirthing. That's what we talk about. You got to be born again. Of water and spirit. Uh-oh, it took it a similitude now. Of water and spirit. Here we go. Energy, we could say that's spirit. And the waters, okay, let's go. Remember Moses hit the foundation rock and the water came up? The foundation rock in Kabbalah, the number 9, we're talking about the root chakra of the tree of life. This chakra must open up. See how all of them relate? All religions is related, telling us the same story.
And what if there's a baptism of water and a baptism of the fire?
Baptism of water, here we go again. Now, spirit and fire, they're just using an interchange of words. It's the same thing. Spirit, fire, light, but it's all talking about the same thing. Cosmic energy, chi, prana, it don't matter what you use. They just made it religious. And that water flow again, don't we say the prana flows like water? It looks for the place of least resistance. And the more stress you get out of your body, the more it can come through with no resistance. You're healthy. You're nourished. You're sustained. That's the currency nature looking for. They're looking for how many houses you got and who you go with and how much money you got. They don't care. Oh, man. That's rough, ain't it? See, you got to lose your mind to gain your mind.
Yeah, it reminds me of the story where Jesus was talking to the young rich man, and he said, you know, I kept the 10 Commandments and everything in the law. What more do I have to do to be perfect? And he said, well, sell everything you own and follow me. And then he went away sorrowful because he had much wealth. Great
Right.
wealth.
He didn't want to give up his wealth.
Not to put myself in the spot.
So
You're not asking me to get rid of me. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
I'm waiting for it.
You're cute.
I ain't saying nothing at all. But there's a lot to those similitudes. They give us these stories, but it's all talking about, again, basically the human being being self-sustaining. That's why they all talk about the tree of life, which is a self-sustaining tree, which is a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we go to a family reunion and have the family roots and all this. We already talked about that. But the whole story is every one, you should relate it to the tree of life. It is giving you a diagram of what you should do with yourself. You're that what it's talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. And the more you live this, the more your consciousness will open up and you can see. You see it plain as day. You're the king. Every way you move, the creation itself will back up which direction you're going into. Because you're a creator. There ain't no separation. None at all. Creating your reality on every little level. I know that's scary at first. When I first heard that, I was like, I didn't want to accept that because I created a mess. Right. I know what I created a mess. I didn't want to take all that blame. But slowly but surely, you're working with yourself. And that illusion of Maya start blowing off and you find out, it wasn't so bad at all. It's helping you to grow. That's all it's doing in your mind. Bringing it back into its oneness. Bringing it back into its wholeness.
Something you said earlier also brought something to mind. The whole verse, they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me.
Right.
You talk about, people who are kind of like on board in one sense with what you're saying, but on the other hand,
whole other ball game. In other words, the word hypocrite means putting on a face, a false face. And of course, being understandable that we're in a fall of consciousness. So in the fall of consciousness, you'll start talking it first. That can be understandable. So we're not saying nobody's lying or nothing. You do. You got to speak it first before the actions start becoming into alignment. First you think it, then you start talking it, then it should be able to come into fruition. Not make any sense. Mm-hmm. At least the information has to come to you for you to even think it. So you can't create something that ain't there. So that's why they say usually, the Vatican got all these books they're hiding. Nobody's arguing that. But you'll find it more and more. But they can keep the books. We got the information out because this is the book. Right. Vatican ain't got me in the basement, so I'm right here. Right, I'm the book. I don't need to go there and say, let me see and let me look at it. I can't even read the writing. Don't care. We figured it out. That just shows how tough we is. We figured it out and had to go nowhere. Already had the answers. I don't even need to blame nobody. Anything I need to know, I just go inside. 1 minute. All right, I got it. Because you're a genius. Oh, man. This is good, though. Now, dealing with those 7 chakras, let's take a look at them to show you how powerful these energy centers is. Now, the first chakra, people will say, okay, we'll look at the root and all of this, but let's make it plain as day now. We should be able to measure it. The first chakra is the physical body. The physical body is the first chakra. Why would I say that? It's the root chakra. Mm-hmm. You mean my whole physical body is the root? Right. The root ain't just down at the bottom. See, after I get done with this, you're going to find out that there's only 1 chakra. There ain't 7. They just gave you that so you can, because your mind is already fragmented. You need something to work with. But your physical body is the root chakra. So when a person is physically sick and stuff, that shows that there's blockages in the root chakra. That's how you know, just by the way you feel. It ain't like it's spooky and you can't see it. We can see it now. Now we're going to make it make sense. So that's why when people say, what do I need to do to become on a Breatharian path? Look at your current health and upgrade it from where it's at. That's the pranic path. So if the physical body transforms itself and get healthier, that means you got more energy flow. Is that making sense?
Yes.
You just going to your potential. You should be healthy. It's hard to get sick. Yeah, it is. I put hard work to get sick that time. I was eating Salisbury steak 3 times a week. I had to go buy it, get the money, all this stuff. Get the breakfasts going, the dinners, eating here and there. That took a lot of work. Then you start losing your health, not feeling good. You can't do things like you're supposed to. That took a lot of work over a period of time. Didn't happen overnight. So in order, that's why this is a process. People want that instant gratification, instant consciousness. You don't need to think that. If it took you a process to get to that, just reverse it. That's the Breatharian journey. It's a holistic consciousness, a holistic lifestyle. Better your health from where it's at right now. You're going to have more energy flow. So that's why the first chakra is the physical body. There is a Breatharian body. It should show some sign of health or be able to function on that level. Did we say that? Uh-oh. We're going to make it make sense. Now we go to the second chakra. They relate that to the sexual energy and stuff like that, but that's dealing with the close relationships you have. People you know that's close to you, how the relationships is going, and blah, 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 blah. And right there, how do we know if that open or closed? If you got these close relationships and it's going bad. Now, why would that go bad? Because if your physical health is, if the first chakra is closed off, you ain't feeling good, it's easy to get you irritable. So that's going to mess up the second chakra. See how they feed off each other? Now, if you're feeling healthy, it's harder to get to you mentally. Because the first chakra is open. But when the first chakra is closed, you ain't feeling good. You're feeling depressed, disconnected. It's messing up your relationships because the first chakra is closed. Now, what's the third chakra? The solar plexus. Now, usually when a person fasts, 3-day fast, 7-day fast, they'll say something like, even my thinking cleared up. I was able to think more clearly. They relate it to the thought. Cognitive thinking skills. When a person is real clogged up or polluted, their mind is all over the place. It don't feel good. But you start thinking more clearly when you start getting rid of energy. So if the first chakra is open, but the body is healthy, it betters your relationships with the secondary chakra. People at work and everything. It's hard for people to get to you when you're healthy. And you know it. Mm-hmm. And then the third chakra. You're thinking more clearly because your physical body's healthy. It is the mind. Why wouldn't it be? Uh-oh.
So these relationships, could we correlate them to thinking, feeling, and willing? I know this is kind of a framework that, others use. It's important, We have a thinking element, a feeling element, and a willing element. How would you relate that to?
Oh, well, that's a play on words you're using, but in a nutshell, what we're saying, yeah, it all goes together. If you want to use those words to, better help somebody dealing with the elements of feeling, of having these relationships, that's what it's dealing with. It's just like walking down the street smiling at somebody. You feel like smiling that day. And some people don't feel like smiling. The first chakra is closed. The second chakra is closed. I don't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. That's how we know. And then the third chakra is closed. Why? Because they got problems just stuck in their head. Half of the problems ain't even, they blew it out of proportion. Chakras is closed. And then the fourth chakra deals with the world view. See, this is the chakra that comes off the biggest. So when you're looking at the world as being dark, a nightmare, it's going to get worse, that's an indication that the heart chakra is closed. You meet people like that all the time. Man, we're in bad shape. Humanity ain't going to make it. Talking. Ain't been nowhere. They just watched the news just now. Of course they thinking like that. And I'm looking at the world around me saying, what they talking about? They act like it's the end of the world. But that goes back to the first chakra's block, the physical body. Something's wrong with their health. There's a blockage. Their Relationships, they put that energy on everybody else. I just ain't buy into it. Third chakra, they can't think clearly. Their personal world is going good, but the world is bad. They're making up things. Can't see, caught into the illusion. So the fourth chakra, it affects that. That's blocked up. But again, if the physical health is good, you're feeling good, relationships is good, thinking is good, the world is good. That's the way you're looking at it. Man, it's a good time to be alive. That's how you're thinking. Oh, man. This is heavy. See how all of them connected? So that's why the scripture's talking about this number 7 all over the place. When all of them is open, that's what happens with that individual. That's a breatharian. Of course, creation going to back you up. Now, notice how I stopped at the heart chakra. That's looking on a more worldly view. So that's what gets you to looking at the view of oneness. Not just talking it, you're living it. You're one with everything. So therefore, that's when nature start looking at you to start feeding you and know you exist. All those other chakras, you're sending out a different energy into the atmosphere. You want to be healthy. At first, it ain't easy being healthy when you're coming out of this unhealthy civilization. That took effort. You had to deny yourself things. Right. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Refuse to talk that way. Refuse to think that way. Yeah, that's a big effort. Oh, man, move away from them for a season. They ran me out to a cave. I got ran up there. I didn't do it because I wanted to. Man, I ran up to a cave. Finally, I was free. Oh, man, this is rough, wasn't it? And then, now we go to the fifth chakra. When all these other ones is open, this is how it feeds it. You start talking that you're healthy. That's your testimony. Because you're feeling good, you're talking good. Your personal relations, that's all you're talking is good stuff. Because the first chakra feel good. Yeah, I remember I was in bad health. Then I started, right, that's all you're doing, talking about it. You can't help it. Then you got clear thinking. Ooh, you came up with that because you're a genius. That's what's flowing through you. And then the heart chakra, you talk about the world. Boy, it's a good time we're in. I can't wait to travel here and go there and see this. And we're going to do this. That's how you're talking. Everybody else can't talk like that. There's no way out.
What do you think of the idea of the apocalypse or the end of the world pertaining to one's own personal end of the old world in the new world?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Now, he's basically about the crossover. See, now that's the symbology again, the apocalypse from the old world into a new world. So that's why in Revelation, at those same chapters, they're saying, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Now, what is they talking about? Well, now we can say that heaven relates to the thinking, the consciousness. This is where everything is, the heavenly abode, up at top. And then the earth is the body. Now this individual who made some changes, it opened up the chakras, he saw a new heaven and a new earth. I got a new body. I got new thinking. He went from one phase of living to another one. So everything changed. That's why I tell people I live in a breatharian world. Whatever world would I live in? I don't live in a steak-eating world. Right. I got to say it. I live in a breatharian world. Breatharian lifestyle. Care what nobody say. This is what you live in. You can see. This sun is doing more than just giving me so I can see through the daytime. It's nourishing me, pumping me up, giving the cells ATP, got the heart pumping. I'm all happy. I'm telling you, it's smiling at me. I'm smiling back. I'm his son. That's what they mean by the son of God, the son of Adam. But everybody the son. Well, I guess. That's not what the scripture's saying. It just gave us strict titles to, different things and degrees. That's what we're saying. But we got to wake up to this. Because there's a fall of consciousness, like we said. The son loves you, but they don't even know you exist. You got to come into existence. Build a soul. Put some effort in. So that's why I get into the throat chakra, the fifth chakra, it start talking its truth. That's where it's at. I can't help talking about breatharian. That's why I do. I can't help talking about it. I go all around the planet telling people about it. Don't you know you ain't got to eat? I couldn't help it. I ain't trying to get no new career for myself, get people to follow me. This is the way I talk. I care less about a job. For what? Man, this is heavy, ain't it? Oh, man, did I say that? Yeah. Just move to a place where the weather's right, I'm all right. So I can go play in the sun all day. Why should you be unhappy? Well, you need money all the time. Well, how you going to get a new shirt? I just don't wear a shirt. Right. So what? I wasn't born with it. It ain't hard getting a shirt. There's materialism all over the place. Somebody will give me a shirt. So what? Don't make it difficult. Oh my God. This is where we at again, full of consciousness. Then how many shirts you need? All right, that's a whole nother ball game. But anyway. And then we get to the sixth chakra. Now everybody talk about that third eye. There was people paying people money to open up their third eye. Probably still, uh-oh, did I say that?
I didn't do that, but I understand what you're saying.
Right. But I've been in places where I saw this and people was like, man, I was one of those people. People opening up your third eye. All right, here we go now. You only open up your own third eye.
Yeah, I did go to the Taoist master, and that didn't work, and asked the acupuncturist to poke me there, and that didn't work.
You only know what you know, though.
Right, you only know what you know.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That is heavy, ain't it? You know, they lift up the skull and went inside with some tools, turned it on. All this whole other stuff. No, wait a minute now. Let's back up. How's this get activated? Because you see this pharaoh sitting there with this cobra on his head. How did he open up his third eye? He must have been healthy. Ding. Good intimate relationships around him. Ding. That's why he was a good king. You understand? Good clear thinking. Ding. Looking at the world as we living in paradise. Ding. The Egyptians was even ready to make a city called Heliopolis, named after the sun. Why would they do that? I mean, everybody knew the health from it. It's a health deity. It must have been being nourished by it. Uh-oh. Here we go. Then everybody was talking good, because if everybody feeling good, everybody talking good. The only person complaining is one that's closed up. A person who's depressed and always complaining is sick. We might as well go ahead and say it. These chakras is blocked up. That's why they only can talk that way. Confusion, problems. So then, if all of these is open, you talk about the world being good, that opens up the what? Pineal gland, the third eye. Now this is what gets good. We use that word pineal. Did I say it right? Pineal. And they say it's after the pine cone. Okay, we got that. But on esoteric teachings, this is what they're saying. The only way you can get to God is if you're, what? Castrated. Not castrated. Oh, man, I used the wrong word. Circumcised. All right? Here we go now. All right. Circumcised. And then men, some of them in certain customs, they go through the circumcision on the penis. Now, on the one level, they say the woman, now we say a man is a woman turned inside out. But they also say vice versa with the woman. She's a man turned the opposite way. You're both the same. A man has the female energies in him, and just like a woman has the male energies in him. You're making full circle. So now you only can come to God if you're circumcised. So that means that's for the physical male only? No. The woman didn't have to go through that because they looked at the clitoris as already being circumcised. But the pineal gland is the second penis. So above, so below. And it's covered in what? Melanin. This is a good extraction or good harvester of light. So this is designed to work with light. All right, here we go. So if the rest of these chakras and the energy flow is coming up, this activated to a higher level, a higher degree. So this is like the second penis, or what we call sexual energy cultivation. You're allowing all this serpent to come up. Everything's open. Everything's not supposed to die. This is the circumcision of the other penis, which is the pineal gland, P-I-N. Penis and the L at the end. Remember we said that word E-L? Electricity, elected, electron, E-L for God, Elohim, plural in Hebrew. That's what it's dealing with. Oh, did we say that? Uh-oh, a lot of people are going to have a hard run with this one as we tussle with it. And we ain't even got to worry about the crown chakra, number 7. If these 6 are open, this is a guarantee. That means not only you need to see, first you got to make a transmission of energy to the higher forces. Like E.T. call home. Oh, they finally called me. I know they exist. Then that's when the influx of energy will start coming into the body. It's prepared to handle the bigger influx of energy. That's what we're talking about. A person can't be sustained by for breatharianism. Their energetic body is too low. We don't care about the physical body. The energy body is too low. That's why you have to meditate to build up the energy body. Is this making sense? So now we're taking the red race car. We got the aerodynamics going now. Now we got to put the right engine in it. You don't want to run a race with a Toyota in it, engine. Toyota's a good car, but not to run a race. Give me that engine for that race car. I don't know engines that good, but there's some out there.
Ferrari.
Right. An engine. Give me an engine that's going to give me some speed. It's going to pick up the pace. That's what we're talking about. We're transforming the physical vehicle. That's why Revelation is given. He once was dead, but now he's alive forevermore. I saw a new heaven, a new body, and I saw a new earth, a new mind. That's a person that got a new vehicle. Plain and simple. They can rest on the 7th day. Every day is a Sabbath. And go to work if they want to. Why should you do that in the Garden of Eden? Whoa. This is what world we coming in. This is what going from the consciousness that will sleep to the one that is opening up. That's how I was looking at things. Whoa. Now y'all ready for some good meditation? We'll take our break. Oh man, we got to go work on our vehicle. This is the great work. All right, let's take 10.
All right.
That was good. Thank you for that message.
Oh man, thank you. Whoa, whoa.